Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. All right, so in today's lesson we're going to focus on comprehension. To comprehend means to understand, right? Okay, now I'm going to give you very quick and the easiest secret to know when you're answering comprehension. Okay, now the first thing that you need to understand this formula. You need to focus on a question, from there paragraph, keywords, from keywords understand word meaning, then from there answer. Okay, so what am I trying to say? In short, I'm saying before you read the passages, you have to go to questions if you want to answer quickly as possible. So you go to questions. Remember, in those questions you find that in most cases each question has a paragraph number on which to focus on, right? So it means you are trying to minimize or reduce time, right? Instead of focusing on unnecessary things, you focus on what you just need to know, right? So from there, now you can go and read the passage. Then you just focus on the passage number that you've been given for that specific question. Then after you found the answer, now you go and answer. You continue the same process. Now, in this case, you need to know that you don't have to focus on the exact words, but you need to understand that word can change. So you need to understand that the word is the focus, but also the word meaning, right? So in this case, let's look at what we have here. So this is a comprehension. So we have this, and the next one we have. The next one here, you can see the next passage. It's this half here. You can see this is where it ends. Now they are saying, let's read these instructions. We can read the instructions. They're saying, in each of the questions 1 to 9, select the best answers, the answer from the 4 options provided. Indicate your answer by drawing a circle around the letter on the answer paper as in the example given. If you change your mind, cross out the initial choice very neatly, then circle your revised answer correctly or clearly. For question 10, answers are instructed, right? Now, this is an example. We will not focus on the example since we know that the example has been already solved. So let's go to the question here. So if you can look at this, they're saying according to paragraph 1. You see, so the formula is to focus on what? Paragraph 1 when you're answering this particular question. They are saying, in which period was there rapid progress in the provision of medical services in developing countries? In which period? Okay, so you can see they are saying between that. So which period? Let's go to paragraph 1. Okay, so you need to remember the keywords in the question. In which period was there rapid progress in the provision of medical services in developing countries? When was there a rapid progress in the provision of medical services? Okay, so we go to paragraph 1. So we are saying, in developing countries, there was rapid progress in the provision of medical services in the 1980s. In the 1980s. So 1980s. So they've already given us the answer there. There's no need for us to continue. You can see that is the answer. Now, if you come here, they are saying there they've said in 1980s. So 1980s, what is 1980s? You need to understand that 1980s is simply the period between, okay, between 1980 to up to 1990. That period, in between period. So it means this is the correct answer. Okay, this is the correct answer because it ranges from 1980 to 1990, right? So that is the 1980s. Very good. So we found the answer. Now we go to the next paragraph, the next question. They're saying, in paragraph 1, dash of the children in the developing world have not yet been reached by vaccines. Dash of the children in developing countries have not yet been reached by the vaccines. So we can see the answers here. They're saying 1/3, 3/4, 3/3, 2/3. How many thirds have not been reached by the vaccine? So let's go to paragraph 1. So paragraph 1, you're going to go there, you're going to say, remember we've already read that. So you're going to say, however, immunization remains one of the greatest opportunities to protect the lives of children in the next decade. 2/3 of the children in the developing world have already been reached by vaccines. 2/3 of the children have already reached by the vaccines. As a result, almost 2 million. As a result, okay, almost 2 million children are being saved. Okay, are being saved each year. However, nearly 3 million children are still dying annually because they have not been immunized. Okay, nearly 3 million have not been immunized. Okay, so almost also diseases, disease, malnutrition and deaths are common among those children who have not been reached. It is therefore essential to maintain momentum and aim to immunizing 80% of the children by the target date and over. Okay, so now the issue here is to remember, they are saying almost 2 million have already been saved, have been saved, but you also have this other, which is talking about which is talking about the what? The 3 is where we said nearly 3 million children are still dying. Okay. Now, if you look at it, only 2/3 have been reached. So let's look at our answers. Only 2/3 have been reached. Okay. So in that case, it means if only 2/3 have been reached, then the remaining 1/3 hasn't been reached. The remaining 1/3 here hasn't been reached. Okay. So that is how you can figure it out. The formula, we can do some calculations if you want to do some calculations. I don't want to confuse you. All right. Now, let's go to the next question. The next question here we are saying, in paragraph 2, what is the purpose of screening every child who is brought to a health center? What is the purpose of screening each child who is brought to the health center? To dash, to carefully check the records. Now, let's go to paragraph 2. Why do we take children to health, what is the purpose of screening every child brought to a health center? Now, here we are saying for all vaccines and in almost all countries, there are 2 opportunities for immunizing at least 80% of children with 1 year. This immunization coverage could be quickly expanded by screening. Okay, could be expanded by screening. This entails carefully checking the records of every child who is brought to health center for whatever purpose, to see if immunization is essential. Now, this is the answer here. To see if the immunization is essential. So, now let's go to the answers. Okay? So they are saying the answer is to carefully check the records of every child. Is it true? To discover the 2 opportunities for immunization. Is it true? To find out if immunization is necessary. That is the answer. Essential. So they've only changed the word there, the wording, but the meaning is the same. This is what I was saying. Don't focus on the exact words, but focus also on the meaning. Right? So to find out, so that is it, to check if immunization is essential. Now, in this case, they've used the to find out if immunization is necessary. Same thing, right? Now, let's go to the next question. From paragraph 2, there are two opportunities for immunization can give rise to dash percent of the children to be immunized within 1 year. About, almost, less than, not less than. Okay? Now, let's go where they are saying the two opportunities for immunizing can give rise to dash 80% of children. Now, paragraph 2 is here. Here we've been told for all vaccines and in almost all countries, there are two opportunities for immunizing at least 80% of children within a year. At least. The key is what? At least. At least. At least. So in this case, at least 80%. At least 80% means what? So they've changed the word meaning here again. I mean, they've changed the word, the exact word here. So they've said about, almost, less than, not less than. So at least means not less than. Hopefully you are getting me. At least means what? Not less than. So at least it means not less than. So the answer is D. So number 3. Paragraph 3. Which one of the following statement is correct? Which one of the following statement is correct according to paragraph 3? Measles is not so deadly. Is not so deadly a disease. Measles is the deadliest disease. Of all diseases, measles is the least deadly. Very few diseases are as deadly as measles. Which one is the correct answer? Let's go to paragraph 3. Paragraph 3, we are here. Okay? So we are saying it is worrying that measles and tetanus, the two biggest killer among vaccine preventable diseases, are the ones for which immunization lags farthest behind. Measles still claims 1.5 million young lives each year. In addition, malnutrition and other terrible ailments are known to be up to 10 times more than in the months and years following a measles outbreak. Measles is therefore one of the deadliest diseases. This is why universal child immunization must remain one of the decade's greatest goal. Now, the keyword is here. The keyword is here. Measles is therefore one of the deadliest disease, right? So when we go here, look at the answers they are saying. Measles is not so deadly. Measles is the deadliest disease. Okay. Then they are saying, let's read the question here. Measles is therefore one. Okay. Measles is therefore one of the deadliest diseases. Okay. So here you are saying measles is the deadliest disease. So this statement is not correct because you are saying is the deadliest. It means it's the only one that is deadliest, which is not correct. Now, of all the diseases, measles is the least deadly. Wrong, right? So we can cancel this, we can cancel that, we can cancel that. Very few diseases are as deadly as measles. So this one is correct. So it means there are also other diseases that are deadly, but they are few. So, very correct. Now, let's go to the next paragraph. The next paragraph we're saying, in paragraph 3, measles outbreak leads to dash. Leads to dash. Now, it leads to what? We've read that. I believe so. So now we are saying where? In addition, okay. In addition, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? I think I can come here. Okay, let's read the whole passage. It is worrying that measles. So you have to, as you are reading, you need to have that question in mind so that you know what you are looking for. Measles outbreak leads to dash. What does it lead to? Malnutrition only, poor nutrition and very bad illness, terrible ailments, tentants, and many other ailments. So let's read. It is worrying that measles and tentants, the two biggest killers among vaccine preventable diseases, are the ones for which immunization lags farthest behind. Measles still claim 1.5 million young ones lives each year. In addition, malnutrition and other terrible ailments are known to be up to 10 times more common in the months and years following a measles outbreak. This is where the answer is. Okay? This is where the answer is. So, what does it, because of measles outbreak, what are the common things? We are saying, in addition, malnutrition and other terrible ailments are known to be up to 10 times more common in the months and years following the outbreak. Okay? So, malnutrition and other terrible. So, let's look at the answers. The answers are saying malnutrition only, poor nutrition. Poor nutrition means malnutrition, right? So we need to be very wise. Poor nutrition means malnutrition. Very bad ailments, that other term, it means this one. Terrible ailments, this one is not combined. So the answer is what? So the answer in this case is tentants and other ailments. Okay, so let's check out that. In addition, malnutrition and other terrible ailments are known, right? Are known. So here, okay. So where there we go. Tenants and the other ailments. So this one, we can pick that. It makes more sense. All right. Okay, now the next paragraph there. The next paragraph. This one we picked this. No. It's supposed to be D. Poor nutrition, and bad other illnesses. Which is the meaning of this. So it's B, not D. Okay. Then let's go to the number 7. Number 7 is saying, according to paragraph 4, tenants. There's some words. Tetanus kills more than dash infants each year. Okay, paragraph 4. Let's find out. Immunization against tetanus also lags behind. Coverage of pregnant women in the developing world still stands at least less than 30%. The number of recorded tetanus cases among women and newborn babies has therefore fallen very little. It is a matter of national and international shame that something so easy and inexpensive preventable should still be clean more than 3, more than what? Should still be clean more than 3/4 of a million infants and many thousands of young women each year. So 3/4 of a million, right? Of a million infants. Now, let's go. Tendons kill more than dash infants each year. It kills more than dash infants each year. Now, let's come here. The answer they are saying 1,075,000. 750,000, 500,000, 250,000. Which one is the answer? So to find the answer, remember they've said three thirds. Where? They've said 3/4. 3/4. Now, what is the 3/4 in fraction? 3/4 in fraction, it means 3/4 times a million. A million is 1 million, right? 1 million. 1 million. Okay, so what you can do, you can divide. You can choose to divide. If you're going to divide, you're going to have, if you divide this into that, okay, so you can divide it 4 into, for example, 4 into, can 4 go into 20, into 10? Can 4 go into 10? Okay, right? It can go, right? How many times? It can go 2 times. Remainder 2. It can go 2 times. 2 times remainder 2. That remainder, if we get that remainder and add this other 0, it will be 20, right? 20, it can go into 20 how many times? That is 5, right? 5. So it means we've cancelled 100 here. In short, 4 into 100, it goes 25 times. So 25, you add these other 4 zeros. It will be 250,000 times 3. So if you multiply times 3, should be able to get something like where are the answers? This one. Okay, so that is the answer there. Okay, now paragraph 5, we are saying in paragraph 5, the problems that hinder immunization programs are dash. Paragraph 5, what are they saying? Big, few, limited, numerous. Are dash. The programs that hinder immunization are dash. So let's go. The problems which hinder immunization programs in the European countries are many. They've put there many. Let's check if we have this exact term there. Are many. Here we have big. Big. Is big equal to many or same as many? No. Few? No. Limited? No. Numerous? Yes. Okay. So that is how we figure out the answers. Okay. Then the next question, the next paragraph is saying the best title of the passage is. The best title of the passage is. Okay. So that one, if you read carefully the whole passages, you're going to say universal child immunization. Universal child immunization. Okay. Now let's go to the next, to the last part here. From the underlined words in the passage, find one word which means the same or nearly the same as the following words. Okay. Now, let's find out. Spell each word correctly. Now, reason. Which word means reason in the paragraph? Underlined words. So, if you look in the paragraph here, I think when I was trying to to transfer the work. I forgot the lines. I forgot the lines because I had to transfer it from the actual exam paper to another form of paper, but with the same format. Okay, so the lines, the underlined words, I omitted the lines, so that can be difficult. But if you look at the same past paper, you have underlined words, so you can figure it out from there. This is 2025, okay, internal, not GCE. Okay, so just for the sake of progress, reason in the paragraph, when you have underlined words, it should be reason means in the underlined, on underlined words you have purpose. Okay, then cheaply means in underlined word you have expensively. Okay, then in nations you have countries among the underlined words, countries. Okay, then period of 10 years is decade. Okay, so those are the words. Now the only thing that you need to know, this particular section, comprehension, has more marks, so you need to be very wise and very careful. All right, okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope this lesson was helpful. If you found the lesson helpful, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for more lessons. Otherwise, don't forget, you can suggest the topic that you wish me to focus next time.